Well, not on air. We're not doing this live.
Yeah, broadcast.
They're knocking down
Recorded.
DMCA's left and right. You think I'm gonna
What's
live stream a death battle?
Why not? It's our new thing.
Yeah, it's our new thing, not being on the air anymore.
Hey everybody, welcome to Stone-Faced Reactions. I'm Griffin, this is Theta, and we're here watching Death Battle. One of our favorite things to watch people punch each other. So, we've had a little bit of a switcheroo occur, and I think we cast our vote for things that aren't coming up immediately, so now we get to pick now. Go ahead, Theta, introduce who are we choosing between, and who are you going to choose?
Today's battle is Sabretooth versus Jon Talbain. Talbain. You know what? I think you can probably guess who I'm not picking.
The one you can't pronounce.
Yeah, the one I know nothing about.
No, I don't know anything about him either. I just know Sabrewulf is a really cool werewolf, and now you have him.
Wait, who did I say? Who's the first one that I said?
Sabrewulf?
Did I say Sabrewulf? Thank God. Back in my head, I'm thinking, did I say Sabretooth?
You may have been saying Sabretooth to me the whole time.
That I realize now is the Wolverine's, brother in arms, nemesis. Yeah. So, okay. Well, I mean, clearly I don't know a lot about either of these guys, but I know more about Sabrewulf than I do about Jon Talbain, who I know his name is not Jon Talbain, but it's the first time I saw it, it stuck in my head as Jon Talbain. So now it's Talbain until they say it on there and I hear otherwise.
Right. I imagine once they start saying things about him, maybe I'll have some flash of inspiration, but until then, I've only seen Ultra Combos. So I guess let's just go ahead and get straight into it. We're completely blind here.
No, I'm not completely blind. Unfortunately,
you got half an eye open.
Unfortunately, in Killer Instinct, Fulgor was my guy. I know this is a battle for werewolves, but Fulgor was my guy. I'm aware that in the first Killer Instinct, Sabrewulf is a man that can turn into a werewolf, and I think by the second Killer Instinct, he is just permanently turned into a werewolf. He can no longer turn back. Because it's the same thing where, like, they turned Fulgor, was from a test prototype into, like, an army of Fulgors.
Right.
It's a whole lot of stuff that happens between the first and the second game.
The intricate fighting game lore.
Have you ever played Darkstalkers?
I don't think so whatsoever.
Darkstalkers wasn't the one where the main character was, like, a big old hulking dude with, like, a skull face?
That could be any video game, I'll be honest.
I'm just trying to delve into lore. Dude, this is on the spot. What do we know?
I know that I don't know. I'm just Socrates here.
Okay, well, so Sabrewulf was also obviously meddled with by the company that runs Killer Instinct, which is what do they do? War? I mean, I don't know.
They do something.
They make all the Fulgor guys, which is literally an army made for war. And they've got like a whole Shao Kahn thing going up on the top floor. I don't know. Okay. This is clearly going to work out as one of our best death battle reactions.
This is what you come here for. Just us just completely flopping around with no idea what to do.
Alright, hitting that play button.
Sir Thomas Browne once said, "Every man is his own greatest enemy, and as it were, his own executioner." For many, every day is a struggle to restrain the beast within.
Or else you might turn into a big old honking werewolf.
I also never played any of the new
Sabrewulf, the savage wolf man of Killer Instinct.
They look really radical.
Jon Talbain, the kung fu canine Darkstalker.
That's what the kids are still saying, right? Radical?
Yeah,
and
totally.
It's our job to analyze their weapons.
I'm not old, you are.
Who would win a death battle? Deep in the heart of Germany's Black Forest lies the ruins of Sabrewulf Castle, home to a monster.
Starting with the one that we barely still know a little bit about.
It's called Sabrewulf Castle. What else do you expect?
But that monster used to be a man, Baron Conrad von Sabrewulf. Once an aristocrat of wealth and status, his life would drastically change the day he discovered a secret laboratory deep within
I don't know what
the
they also
castle's
called
bowels.
one is.
He stumbled onto a
I think that's
treasure
just
trove of
implying that
monster
he's a
hunting
stud.
weapons and
I don't know what
relics
him and
straight out of his
Hama.
family's secret
Oh,
history.
okay. I got
Now
you.
you get it.
Mysterious
Yeah.
large claw, which he accidentally cut himself on. Upon the light of the next full moon, the Baron transformed into
Shouldn't have
a
just had that lying around to
no,
accidentally
a
cut
werewolf.
yourself
This is the
on.
werewolf episode.
Come on, Wiz. Spooky castle in the middle of nowhere. A
Something
weird
about
cursed
thunder there.
artifact. He's got Vaughn in his name. This is totally a vampire backstory.
Now that's for next year. On that night, Baron Sabrewulf became a bloodthirsty beast.
You know, the name really screwed him from the start there. Almost like it was destiny.
Well, originating as early as classical antiquity, the fable of men turning into wolves under a full moon is a staple of European folklore. Real-life victims of so-called lycanthropy most likely suffered from porphyria, hypertrichosis, or rabies.
Sabi rampaged all over the
Oh, I
country,
didn't know
killing
rabies could make your hair
everyone
grow.
he found. 'Cause as a big hairy
It
demon
can
dog,
make you
being a
just
werewolf means
be
your
really
strength,
stupid
speed,
as it
and
dissolves your
self-hide
brain.
are off the charts.
Right,
Oh,
right,
and it
but I
makes you
mean,
great at basketball.
they're saying like
With his
wolfmen.
razor-sharp
Anyway.
claws, Sabrewulf can easily tear through solid steel. Also, any one of his cuts
I'm just
can
kind of
potentially
stunned
pass
by
his
the
curse to
werewolf
new
doing
victims.
basketball
But
clip.
he's pretty happy using those claws to
Wait,
brutally
you like,
rush down
Teen
any
Wolf?
foe.
With
The
a
real one?
howl
Not
to
the
his
weird
Sabrewulf
MTV
can
thing
pick
that I've
himself
never
up
watched?
Or tap into his
It
killer
might be.
instinct to enter a feral rage. In this state, any sense of shame or repression is eliminated as he truly becomes a mindless monster. It also increases his chip damage and allows him to cancel auto doubles into other auto.
Yeah, it makes him even more stronger and faster.
Look,
We
I'm
get
pretty
it.
sure the other
top
game
it
doesn't
off,
have
you
someone
can summon
screaming ultra
bats
with an echo
that
in the
are on
background,
fire.
so they
Gotta
can
be
never
honest,
win.
Not sure where this one comes from.
He's a vampire.
It's very hard to
person.
top.
Called it.
After a night of painting the town red
Throwing
with
fire is a
blood,
pretty cool trick.
Sabrewulf awoke to the nightmare that would be the rest of his life.
Yeah, he wasn't exactly a fan of the whole werewolf thing, so he did
Yeah, it's fine
anything he
with my
could to
number two.
stop being a full moon furry. But science and magic couldn't cut it.
Yeah, who
He
needs to aim for the
descended
mouth,
into
right?
madness, but
Oh gosh, that
eventually found a
animation
possible
for, like, the
savior,
water.
the friendly neighborhood soul-crushing megacorporation,
Ultratech.
Ultratech.
You know, that makes
There we
sense.
go, now we know.
Evil Walmart. Or just Walmart.
Ultratech promised Sabrewulf a cure for his lycanthropy. But in reality,
see
their
Walmart selling
experiments only
robots
gave him
off the
cybernetic
shelf,
implants
you know.
in his arms,
Just put it in the sporting goods
and
section. No
extended his
question.
werewolf form to last indefinitely.
Yeah, see, like I said, game
Oh,
2.
so cool.
But
Mhm.
Sabrewulf was none the wiser. In return for a cure that would never come, he agreed to fight on Ultratech's behalf in their Killer Instinct tournament.
What a goober. This moron ran around a creepy castle, bumped into something sharp like a dumbass, and now he might not even be potty trained.
Voldemort's
Then
fighting
he
on
got
their
duped by
behalf.
the
I'm
most
confused.
obviously evil company ever to ruin his life even more. This guy's either the unluckiest schmuck on the planet, or just high off his ass on opium.
Actually, he was dangerously addicted to opiates for a time, which only drove him further into madness.
Good old European
Wow, this guy's
aristocrat.
life sucks.
Regardless, Sabrewulf was a fierce competitor. Within the
Nanosecond
Killer Instinct
reaction
tournament, he
speeds.
battled and defeated a Nez Perce warrior Thunder, the metallic super soldier Fulgor,
Seems to happen
and an
quite a lot
actual
here.
dinosaur.
Also,
He's
wasn't
certainly among
Galactus,
a high tier
fighting
of
for
the
them too?
competition.
Like Tusk,
No,
who
he
can
was fighting to
summon
get off the
friggin'
planet. No.
meteors out of the sky.
Based on how large this projectile is, its impact should be equivalent to over a kiloton of TNT.
Sure, Sabi can't magically call down space rocks, but he can survive a hit like that and dish it back. In the tournament, he won 17 fights in a row.
Until he met the warrior monk Jacob.
Protagonist, right? And he got his favorite
Yeah, just throw a
kid
sun at
slapped by
him.
an alien McFlurry named Glacius.
But even after the tournament, Sabrewulf proved strong enough to tear out his own cybernetic implants. While conducting experiments on him, Ultratech's android CEO Arya had noted that the older a werewolf gets, the more vicious and skilled it becomes, while the loss in strength and agility is negligible.
And he proved it in his rematch with Glacius.
And I hate to say this
Who's
in the
the
middle of a
clapper
death battle.
cheeks
Yeah,
now, you
but this is-
projectile
this is all
spamming
really
snow
kinda dumb.
cone?
Most impressive, considering Glacius once got the drop on
It
Arya,
is
who,
fighting
according
game
to an
lore,
official novella,
ultimately.
can react
Yeah, but
within
I mean,
a
I'm-
nanosecond.
They brought it up at
Holy
the beginning.
crap.
He's named
He's not just your
Sabrewulf
average
before he's the
werewolf.
wolf.
He's a
Yeah, I mean, I was
super
totally into the
werewolf, a fighting
Fulgor lore and
tournament
everything like
ass-kicker.
that,
Though he will
Sabrewulf's
sadly
lore is just
always
kinda
be on the
dumb.
hunt for a cure that
You clearly
doesn't
have a
exist.
favorite.
Sabrewulf is one of the most dangerous
Yeah.
monsters and men to ever
It's not
live.
this guy. The guy I have to root for to win this fight.
which Mortal Kombat character is the full robot cybernetic thing?
A dimension inhabited by powerful beings known as
There's two of them.
Darkstalkers.
Alright,
your
Fulgore
classic
versus one of
Hollywood
them, next
monsters
death battle.
mixed with enemy powers.
Makai is ruled by several noble clans, including the Kroots, a
Is
family of beasts.
Like
So
werewolves.
off, I can't even
One
remember.
prominent
Yeah.
member, Baraba the Wolf Lord, who had a son named
I do
Gala.
appreciate it. We're talking
Which means
Mortal Kombat
hungry
lore over the
wolf.
one that we know
Really
nothing
thinking
about in
outside
this
the
death
box with
battle.
that one,
Who's
huh?
specifically
Perhaps you
yours,
prefer
by
his
the way.
English name,
This is
Jon
true.
Talbain.
Yeah, but
Talbain.
his dad is
He's
named
a wolf.
freaking Wolf Lord. That's so awesome, it almost makes me forget he's a total
Oh, hey,
deadbeat.
second
Just
Wolf
like
Lord
my dad.
today that we've
Did I
heard.
say that out loud?
Things
Sorry, it's
got
unrelated
worse.
to that
One of the
battle.
Wolf Lord's enemies, the Demon Jeddah, sent an assassin to kill John's mother.
Dick move. Moms are off limits. Now a werewolf and an orphan, John grew up pretty pissed
fucked up
off at
now.
just about everything, especially the humans that hunted him when he transformed.
In the light of a full moon, John can't help but embrace his Kroot's heritage. And under a red blood moon, he risks
think I've seen
losing
the video
all
game
sense of
clip yet.
self and becoming a ravenous beast. John's story was
It-
about the
it
same
might
as
not
any
be.
werewolves until he happened
Well,
upon
I mean,
a
if
man
they're
who
putting
was also half monster.
a
and he
fighting game
defeated
character
John
against
in
a
combat.
not
With
fighting game
martial
character,
arts.
then
Hell yeah! I keep telling
Not an
people
even
the
match.
only way to solve
Or maybe they just have a bunch
violence is
of
with
connecting
good pair of
comics.
nunchucks.
well, yeah, I mean,
John's
there's a
new
bunch
friend did
of
not offer violence,
Killer
but
Instinct
control.
comics for the
Seeing
same
little
time.
other option, John accepted a life with his new sensei.
Well, we don't know for
There we
sure
go.
what fighting style he
Oh,
was
hey.
trained
I don't know
in.
who
Based
Queeby
on the
is.
time period,
Queeby.
location,
Queeby.
and his stance,
Queeby.
we can guess
That's
that he was
hilarious.
learning Shotokan karate.
Inspired
that
by
guy
Bushido
either.
and Zen Buddhism, Shotokan Karate's focus is on controlled calm, a strong defense, and a
Shotokan
rejection
does
of
not mean
unnecessary
what these people
violence.
think it means.
Basically the
Don't go
exact
Googling
opposite of
Shotokan.
being a werewolf.
Not
Well,
separately,
sign me up for
anyway.
his doggy dojo, because I have no
Oh,
idea
that-
how all that
yeah, I know
Zen
that one.
stuff translates to moves like his climb chaser
Okay.
and wild circular.
Now I know
Rejection of
Darkstalkers.
unnecessary violence, my ass. This dude's just showing
It's like
off.
the
By
two cat
embracing
girls. I
his
know.
werewolf speed,
know that.
John can bash foes with his nunchaku and move so fast he
Perfect
appears to
there.
be in two places at once.
And by tapping into his inner
Werewolf
energy,
nunchucks.
King
Yeah, I can
John
approve.
can perform the beast cannon and rocket around the room like a doggy meteor of pain. But that's nothing compared to the almighty dragon cannon. Oh yeah! So
Actually, I
much for
think one
being
of the
Zen,
Darkstalkers
right? That
characters was
dragon
in the
can
previous
incinerate
death
a whole
battle,
wall.
and I can't
John's
remember
training
about
seemed to do
what.
the trick until his master was killed by a group of bandits.
Where was your flaming dragon there, man?
Enraged yet again by the cruelty of mankind, but tempered by his master's compassion, John became conflicted over his role in a morally gray world, unwilling to fight, but always ready.
And by combining
Weird
his martial arts skills with his natural werewolf powers, he became a wolf
It's art
lion
design.
to be reckoned with.
Yeah,
His razor
not a
sharp
good one.
claws can slice through steel and even punch holes in powerful darkstalkers like Lilith.
He's also got those great doggo senses, like super hearing and smell.
To demonstrate, I've modulated dummy senses up to the same degree as those of a wolf.
I see you find my frequent humiliation amusing.
Oh, I do. Boop.
In open climates, wolf ears can hear sounds up to 10 miles away.
Boomstick, somebody is outside stealing your dune buggy.
No, there. Wait, really?
And their sense of smell is over 100 times greater than that of a human's.
Oh good, the thief got away.
What did you smell that told you that?
Salt, lots and lots of salt.
With nothing but grit and a thick layer of what I'm sure is unreasonably soft fur that you just want to scritch behind the ears, John has survived an onslaught of
It's
missiles
very
from the
fluffy
monster
design.
in their BB
As into
hood.
werewolves
Wait a
as I
minute.
am.
Who gave Little Red Riding Hood military-grade ordnance?
He's not into this
I
one.
want
I
to
don't know
shake
what
their
it is.
hand.
We've seen John dodge bullets up close, but he's bragged about being
Claims
as
he can move
fast
at light
as
speed.
light
See, this is
speed.
what I like.
Sure,
the
Jan.
unreliable
I mean,
narrative.
John.
And he can take down these 5,500-pound
Claims, not
alien robots
can
called heat
claims.
souls, which
Oh
can
my
fly
gosh,
through
they're
outer
just Super
space.
Saiyan now.
Also, it's worth
And in
mentioning that
space.
Darkstalker
Oh,
society
God.
is broken up into different classes based on the strength and power of the individual.
John is a B-plus class Darkstalker, which is way above average, so it makes sense to compare him to other B-plus classers to gauge his limits.
Like Anakaris, who sank all of ancient Egypt underground.
Or QB, who
How
could
did it
lift
come
a
back then?
massive beehive high above this castle.
Based on
ancient
its
Egypt is
size
still there,
relative to the
so-
castle, this hive would have to weigh
Um,
over 30 million tons.
That's like lifting over 300
They sunk a pyramid.
aircraft
That's all of
carriers.
Egypt,
And
right?
John's way more jacked than she is. And imagine getting stung by one of those bees.
Even with his amazing power, after decades of torment, John had resigned himself to a life of misery and solitude.
Until he met the cutest cat girl around. Now, we all know cats are usually super evil and Satan's presence on Earth, But Felicia taught him that humans actually aren't so bad.
Because I think she was in a previous death
So
battle.
years of martial arts discipline couldn't
She
temper
was.
his
I just
bad
can't
side.
remember which one.
Getting laid did?
Or,
You know
or
what?
like, who
I
was her
believe it.
opponent?
As far as we know, they're just friends.
Yeah, and I'm sure the internet could give you 34 good reasons why that's bullshit, Wiz.
Well, despite what DeviantArt thinks, Felicia would help John conquer his dark side.
Literally. Like, he literally fought his dark side.
DeviantArt doesn't need
and
rules
killed
or permissions.
it. I always thought that was supposed to
It's
be like
everyone and
Star Wars
everyone.
Stuff, but I guess that isn't the weirdest thing we've talked about.
And with that victory, John finally claimed dominance over his monstrous identity and committed himself to a life of compassion.
But John will always be a Darkstalker. If he relapses, he'll be as deadly as ever.
There will always be a monster inside of him, just waiting to be let loose.
Existence with humans is impossible. That is why we are called Darkstalkers.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
All
Feel
right.
any better about your forced decision?
I do, now that they showed off that they have Super Saiyan 3 Ultra Instinct and Dragon Waves and just are utterly ridiculous in power scale, honestly. And can go as fast as the speed of light. I'm sure that'll definitely crop up.
Claims.
Quite
Claims. Yeah, but also Sabrewulf has nanosecond reaction speed, which wasn't a claim, it was a can.
Like, as far as their abilities go, I have no idea if, like, Sabrewulf's, like, slightly more grounded, he just fights people stuff is going to be able to put up with this, massive, semi-magical combat that's basically DBZ worthy, right? What's more interesting to me is, like, these actually have, like, some character contrast between, like, the two edgy boys we have here. One that just, like, pure monster, and the other one that just, like, oh, you know, I'm trying not to be. Life is so hard.
Well, here's the thing: it's often when they like measure Superman or say Black Adam, they measure Black Adam's powers. It's oh, you remember that time he threw a aircraft carrier, and this one is like, oh yeah, this guy can lift 300 aircraft carriers because he's compared to this bee that can do it.
He did it once, therefore he can do it consistently.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not confident either way, but then again, this is a battle of fighting game werewolves. I think we're in a niche category.
Just a tiny little bit. These might be the only two contenders. There might be like one out there that nobody knows about. But I'm feeling pretty confident about mine, and you
know who
your
mine
Theta.
was.
You know who it is. That's the best statement we can give. Let's go ahead and see how it turns out. Bonus points if one of them shouts Kaioken.
Bonus points if somebody shouts Ultra. And it echoes in the background.
I have no forgiveness left, monster.
And it's total chaos.
I mean, it'd be a lot more interesting if they weren't doing the same moves back and forth. Oh, what's that?
Right.
Breaking with the claws? What's that? Biting with the teeth?
This is just round one. I mean, like, at least, like, the character who actually is said to have martial arts is, like, demonstrating a small bit of that, right?
No, they're literally doing the same things to each other. It's a mirror match.
I think you missed a little bit of it. But yes, they are both werewolves.
Is that why they
now
both just
demonstrate
went
that.
backwards to the flip and they're both bleeding? Because they're not both doing the same things?
Enticing.
There we go, now we're up to the match.
Also, there's only going to be one round.
There's phases.
Yeah, a phase and a round to choose a phase.
Well, usually it's called a match. There we go, Mega Dragon.
useless weapon of all weapons other than nunchuck.
No, nunchucks, they gotta come back.
Michelangelo used to use more deadlier weapons, and they decided they needed to be toned down, so they gave him nunchucks because it's so stupid.
I know, a swinging piece of wood is still pretty deadly.
Yeah, it's a weapon that you more often hit yourself with. So close. That was almost an ultra.
And there it is.
Okay, tell me how you come back from having your guts ripped out and choked with.
By going Super Saiyan.
That doesn't put your guts back in.
I'm no monster, but tonight I'll make an exception.
I mean, I understand I talked over it quite a lot, but that is a hell of an oversight. Okay, you still understand that your fighter is going to die later, right?
Oh yeah.
He had his guts ripped open and torn out and then strangled with.
Wiz, I think I need to see a therapist to tell them how awesome that was.
Sabrewulf was a ferocious foe, but Jon had a lot going for him in most regards. For instance, Jon was trained in genuine martial arts and practiced them for decades, while Sabrewulf relied entirely on instinct.
You mean killer instinct, eh? You're no fun. But hey, remember how Sabi defeated Glacius, who attacked Arya in less
Want to
than a
lean back to what I said
nanosecond?
20 minutes
Technically,
ago.
that
This
put
has gotten
Sabrewulf's
dumb.
reaction capability well within light speed, which Jon claimed he could match.
But that was just bragging, right?
Hardly. Those Weetzel units Jon fought were capable of flying across the galaxy, hundreds of millions of light years in only a short time. This is important
Why?
because fellow Darkstalkers Morgan and Dimitri have intercepted Weetzels in mid-flight combat.
Yeah, those two are
It's
A-classers,
clearly they fly
but
at light
B-plus
speed all the
Darkstalkers
time.
like Jon have kept up with the higher classes.
You don't
and
fly at
speed
light
plenty
speed
of
in an
time.
atmosphere.
Hell,
Anybody
BB
that knows
Hood can,
comic
and she's
books
a
knows
C
that.
class.
You don't have to be
When
a
it comes to the
scientist.
Darkstalker class system, speed is much less a factor than power and energy levels. To be frank,
They're
even if Jon
still
was half
a little
Morgan's
bit
speed, he'd still be
outclassing
faster than
Sabrewulf, though.
So,
Just
if
in power
anything,
scale.
he wasn't bragging enough.
He was way stronger too. QB's also a B-plus Darkstalker, and she lifted that 30 million ton beehive. Way more than anything Sabrewulf can pull off. And when it came to ranged options, I think a Flaming Inferno Key Dragon beats out a lone discount fire bat
I
any
don't know how
day.
hot they
While
are.
his application
judge.
is
No
different,
idea.
he can gauge the level of ki Jon has at his disposal by factoring Anakaris sinking all of Egypt.
All of
So
Egypt,
the only
as shown
logical
by
thing to
one
do was
pyramid.
measure the total weight of ancient Egypt. No, really.
Hyperbole.
that.
It's all
Most
fucking
buildings in the
hyperbole.
period were made of clay bricks and about 4.3 meters tall.
Remember that
Adding
one
the known
pyramid
volume of the
that we
pyramids
put on
and
screen?
considering
That's
additional
all of
land,
Egypt.
we determined Anakaris'
The
ki
entire
had to be
nation, the
strong
entire
enough to
fucking
move a
nation of Egypt.
civilization weighing over 1.2
It's like, you know, the
trillion
pirate tale. It's
tons.
like, and then when the pirate ship came around, they killed everyone. No one lived to tell the tale. How do you know about
an
it?
old school horror monster like a mummy or werewolf?
You know he sunk all of
Darkstalkers
Egypt.
aren't quite like the classics.
At this fight's core, though, Jon won because of the kind of werewolf he was. Through years of struggle, Sabrewulf never found any means to tame his savagery, while Jon had successfully managed to regulate his
Yeah,
wild side.
yeah.
There it
His
is,
level of
context
precision,
difference.
No,
skill,
this is
and
the real
control
fight then. It should have
the
been a
Baron
human
couldn't
man
even
against
begin to
Sabrewulf.
understand. Sabrewulf was vicious and unrelenting, but Jon
Again,
had
had
the
his
training,
stomach
the
ripped
power,
open and his guts torn
the
out.
Flaming Inferno Dragons
Any
to
other
score
fight, that
a
would've been
brutal
the end.
victory.
Brutal doesn't even cut it. I mean, how much blood was that? You know, it had to be at least a gallon.
The winner is Jon Talbain.
I don't even know what the joke was.
That's his name.
Thanks for watching this episode of Death Battle.
Who's?
Come back next week to see previews of our upcoming
The
matchups.
second
If you want
one.
to watch more stuff, you can
Jon
click the boxes
Tal-
right around
Tal-
here,
Talbin?
and you can always pick
Talbin?
up some
Yeah,
DVRs
at some point his name was
store.roosterteeth.com.
Attention, Blue Team! This is the red team! We are here to...
I
we're
think
back
we're
to
actually
this.
going to be coming too.
Yeah, and I've already gone blue. It doesn't matter who won this one.
Oh
We've
yeah, no,
already
I wasn't gonna like
determined.
force you to change or anything. That'd be silly. We already got ours locked in on that. I'm going red, you're going blue, and we'll see how terribly this goes for all of them.
Well, I think I'm pretty guaranteed to win. Blue team is the
I-
protagonists of red versus blue. Red team is the jokes.
But we got Lopez.
Yeah, we have
you
a
know,
tank.
Well,
What do you got, a
Oh.
Puma?
hopefully it goes well. Well, got any last words?
Yep, this sucked. I'm done. I quit. I'm done.
No.
I'm out.
All right, Theta's out. Well, we'll catch you all next time. This has been Stone Face Reactions. I'm Griffin. This is Theta, and we'll see you for Red vs. Blue.